Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's an old-school battle in the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. The Eagles and the Steelers are underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here's the leading rusher amongst rookies last season, Najee Harris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Here's Pickett. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
A part of why they came to this win with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this. And now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
They'll run with Sanders, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this one too low. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders, and he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders with his 4th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Eagles take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. But Charles, clearly they wanted to send a message there and impose their will. They score on their opening possession on a drive comprised entirely of rushing the football.
Message sent. I don't know that the team on the other side of the field wanted to receive it, but what a statement on their opening drive. Just run it all the way downfield, no passes. That absolutely sets the tone that they're going to be physical in this game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here's Trenton Cannon on the return from his end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
On 2nd and 9, Pickett. That's swung out wide to Harris. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
A tough adjustment to the NFL throughout his rookie season, and his problem with turnovers is only exacerbated by his early showing today. That's a couple for him here in this first half, and he's cleared the double-digit mark for the entire season.
Sanders is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. It'll be Hurts on the option, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Play action. Here's Hurts. Steps away. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by a Kello Witherspoon. And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And the defense, Charles, they bent a little bit, but they did not break. And then on 3rd and goal there, the huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them out of the end zone, not give up the touchdown. Instead, they give up nothing. What a big-time play and a big-time stop by them. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. Meanwhile, Pickett's throw complete to Freiermuth. Pickett to his tight end, Freiermuth, for the Steeler first.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. Yeah, he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Pickett back to throw. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
They'll run on 1st down with Cannon. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gain 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them. That attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
Pickett now on first down. And that's incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a give, running left is Harris. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. Touchdown! Pat Freiermuth. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Boswell good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 32 that time. 7-7, our score after 1. They go play action with Hurts. This is Smith with a grab. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Steelers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Defensively, it was Avonte Maddox with a tackle.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to find that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Pickett's throw brought in by Austin. It'll be a gain of 5, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys that we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit in the football.
On the return is Scott. All told, a 54-yard punt, 13 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. Look at the big man rumble. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return and an Eagle touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 14-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week they're coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
The offense on 3rd down, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 14. Pass complete, George Pickens with it. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
First and 10, here's Pickett. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half, throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. Nice footwork at the 25. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Hurts. A quick throw, but incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Hurts to throw. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal. This just a 24-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A 1st and 10 here. And, you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Pickett to throw on 1st down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Eagles will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Boy, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game. go to the press conference, meet.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. T.J. Watt causing the disruption. He gets the sack. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. Scott on the return, out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 51 yards on the ground for him so far.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Throwing is Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
But you got to think that sooner or later they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. It's caught, Smith. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Second down at 4. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. And they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Working out of the gun, it's Pickett. Completes Austin here over the middle. A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got a pick before. That's my turn now to make the big play. And that's exactly what he did.
3rd and 2, Pickett. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he will have a Steelers first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 39, Pickett. He finds Pickens over the middle. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. First down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They hand this off to Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Pickett. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly are loading up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Pickett. And that is incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And this is just outside the right upright. It's no good. And the deficit will hold pat at 13. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. They'll drop to throw. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. William Jackson with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. That is the play they needed in a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
No doubt about it. They did what they had to do to give themselves a chance to get back into the game. They turned it over to the offense. They are now in charge.
Now they need to execute. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Pickett now on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Pickett sets up play action. Going up top. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
2nd down, back to Sanders. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 69 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Another run with Sanders. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline. That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. shoves him aside. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to attack.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The son, Reddick, in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
See what I did there?
He needs better protection, that's for sure. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down. Pickett, 4th down, desperation time. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick-6 will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really, you're almost at the point of no option. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense called, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. And my goodness, another interception. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew there'd be extra defenders in the box. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And he'll be taken down after a pickup of about 7 as the clock will stop here for the 2-minute warning. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And looking for a lane, but none to be found for Sanders as they stop him short of the line to gain. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
They only get a hard-fought yard, but that's all they needed. It pays off the decision to go for it, 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Sanders. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. When they're lined up in the 46 defense like that, running is just going to be a slog.
Especially if you're trying to run it in the middle of the defense. So what you're hoping, get a stalemate against the 3 across the front. And can you get some one-on-one blocks that you can win on the perimeter? To me, that's the best place to carry the football.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Steelers are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback.
And now here's another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. Well, on one side of this, Charles, an impressive victory. On the other, I mean, you think about it, they scored in the first quarter, but then they didn't score in quarters 2, 3, or 4. They're going to have a lot of work to do before stepping back on the field.